I met a gypsy.
So Justin Barcia is, for mine, one of the coolest people in the sport. And the sport needs him desperately. And for whatever reason, this year, he's just gone, fuck it. I'm going to be Justin Barcia. I had no idea. Like, I've never really hung out with him at all. He's one of the few dudes I've never really worked with over there. I didn't know he was as cool as what he is. That, like, the dude that he's, like, showing to people now, where has this kid been forever, man? Like, how is he this late in his 450 career and just now showing us what he is really like as a person? But it goes to show, man, like, there's a reason why he didn't for a long time. And, like, he's going to come do the podcast at some point. I can't wait to talk to him about it. But there's a reason, man. Like, he held back. Like, he held back for a huge part of his career. And for whatever reason, you're seeing that he feels like he doesn't have to now. And it's translated into, he's won the opener, he had a brilliant Supercross season, now he's won an outdoor national. It's like, dude, we've got this, like, this is now a national treasure.
Well, and I think what you're seeing with him kind of relinquishing that is, I mean, you're scared to do that for a long time because this sport teaches you to, you know, tie the tie up real tight, you know, and it's got to be blue collar and you got to be by the book and this, and this, no tattoos and blah, 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 you know, and I think all that's somewhat changing now, luckily. Like, all the stuff that was frowned upon is not so frowned upon, and then we're finding out that it is okay to smile at a dirt bike race and that you could still win while having fun. You don't have to be miserable to win. And I think that we're starting to get back into that. There has to be a balance. We're never going to go back to Havasu. I understand that. Everyone's too fit right now. I said, but it's just cool thinking that we're making that transition Havasu, back in the middle. I know. I mean, I agree. But I do feel like we're almost having that balance now. It went from maybe one extreme to the other, and I think we're finding that middle ground that we can have fun riding a dirt bike. And you know what? The teams also explained to him that they want that from him. They want him to be the fun guy. They want him to be his personality. And then look at BAM TV, dude. Like, it's not an act. That's him. The roller skis, dude, when I got out that day and he was jogging in place by his Sprinter van with those short shorts on saying, what should my heart rate be? Let's go. Let's go. And I'm like, that's when I was like, dude, I love this guy. That energy, that's what I needed right there.
And that's a real thing, man. Like, to be around that kind of guy, you know, there's a ton of people that they just bring that insane energy, and it's like if you can figure out a way to channel that, like what he has, like that fucking kooky ass brain that he's running, like that's a powerful tool.
Yeah. Without a doubt, and like I said, it brings this overall happiness to everybody on the team, right? When everybody, like, you're excited to be there, and this kid's goofy, and then, you know, Pierce is the rookie that's learning, and then Michael's his own unique aspect. Like, the overall group right now, it's making it so exciting for me because of the unknowns, right? I mean, I haven't been here that long, so there is still stuff I'm finding out, but at the same time, like, it's just the sheer just happiness on race day. Like, we get there and let's go fucking racing. Like, how awesome.
Yeah, dude. No, it's so fucking cool. When you were on Geico with Bam, did you see any of that side of him at all, or was he like really subdued?
No, behind closed doors. I mean, we did a boot camp at LaRocco's house one year and stuff, and he opened up quite a bit. But he was still pretty young too, so I think he was honestly not scared to show it, but probably a little bit reserved on, you know, how far can I go?
Yeah.
But he's always had that wild side in him. Like, yeah. I mean, I remember, dude, I think we lost him. Like, we had blown up our practice bikes, so I don't even know what I was on. I might have been on a CR250, like one of Rocco's old bikes. And then we're all like, where's Justin? And we were literally riding like a GNCC loop at Rocco's house. And all you hear is like a horn, and you see a light come over the hill. Well, he had found like an XR650, and he didn't ride the trail. He just comes blasting through the trees with it wide open and blows. The headlight goes flying off the bike. Like, the seat's off now at this point. He comes brake sliding up to us like, what's next, dude? And we're like, dude, you just wrecked the bike. He's like, what? What happened? You know? We're like, okay, well, carry on. Let's go. Let's roll. So it's just like, hey, he's always had that in him for sure.
Yeah, so it was like always there, but it was kind of like he obviously felt a lot of pressure to not be that guy, which is pretty gnarly. Like, if you kind of given the context that we've got now of like this fucking wild man, like he's always been a wild man on the bike, but then, you know, to then go like, it's almost like the bike was the only place he actually could express who he sort of felt he was. And, you know, you kind of look back now with the context of watching 3 episodes of BAM TV, and I'm almost a little bit sad that it's gone this long without, without kind of getting to see this side of him, because that's a big part of his life that he has just essentially put in the closet and hid away from people for the sake of his job.
Right. No, and that's the thing. I think you're probably scared because you're getting paid a lot of money, and at the time it's to win races. It's not to be funny or to do anything else of the sort. So it's like, well, and like I said, if you didn't look or sound focused, you weren't doing your job. And that's not the case. You know, you can, like I said, you can still have fun. This is, at the end of the day, and I don't want to be, it's going to sound bad, but it is just dirt bikes. It's okay. Like, let's make sure it's fun first. Like, why did you start riding? Because you liked it. And it was fun, dude. Like, you're probably going to get the most out of yourself if you're back in that same environment. Like, yeah, things change. Your skills gotten a lot better. Your fitness has probably exceeded anything that I ever thought mine would be, or, you know, for anybody for that matter. But at the end of the day, like, why did you start doing this? No different than when I left Australia. I was having second guesses about retiring because I was like, holy shit, I fell back in love with it again. And, like, the more we can get out of that, the more you're going to get out of that athlete. I really believe that.
Yeah, and I think that with Justin, this is probably going to prolong his career. You know, like, I don't know, how old is he now?
I should probably know this, but I believe 27 or 8.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, he's essentially, like, done in the eyes of, you know, like, traditional championship winners
right.
in the sport, like, if you go off history. But, you know, I thought after Millville, there was, like, this combination of, because, again, like, he's one of my favorite riders. Put a bit of time into thinking about old Bam Bam. But I think about the story of his career, and I'm like, damn, dude, like, he needs to win 3 Supercrosses a year and 2 outdoor overalls, and you pay that motherfucker big money so that he stays on your team and is a huge draw. So it's like, if he's 27 now, he can win Supercrosses till he's 32, 33 maybe. You know, it's just like,
yeah.
And then he wins some outdoors. And I'm not saying that he can't win a championship. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying, like, in terms of him being this, like, mega impactful star in the sport, you need to win a few Supercross races, a couple outdoors, keep doing BAM TV, keep being the coolest motherfucker in the pits. I mean, look at Ricciardo, dude. There's literally nobody ever wants Daniel Ricciardo to retire. Daniel Ricciardo will retire. People do not want him to leave the sport because he's the coolest motherfucker in Formula One.
Dude, I love F1. If he has a DNF or something, I honestly struggle to finish the race.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not just because he's my friend. It's because, like, he's got that flair. He's going to make a gnarly pass. He's going to make things exciting. His radio's funny. You know, it's the same reason like I love Kimmy. It's like...
You care. You
care
care
and you
what
care.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You care what he does. Like, I don't even know JB. I fucking care. I care what he does.
You get invested with someone, dude. It's no different than, you know, I got into football or fantasy football because I wanted to get more into football. Then you get invested in a player that you like.
Yep.
And the next thing you know, you like that team because of this player.
Yep.
Then he leaves, but you still like that fucking team because now you've been invested because of this guy. It always correlates together. It's crazy, but no, it's the same thing.
Yeah, so I think that, I mean, the fact that you're seeing Justin win races now is like a real testament to, like opening up and letting himself go. But it's like that now, I think he's carved out a value within the sport. Like previously, before this year, his value was only winning races, right? But that value now has gone through the roof purely because of, like, honestly, 3 fucking YouTube videos. And his career is now worth so much more to so many people. It is insane. And it might sound like hyperbole, but it's not, man. That's the difference that it makes.
No, and it's crazy, but that's the era that we're in now, right? Like, social media matters. When a sponsor approaches you, it's, well, how many followers do you have? Do I love that? No, but that's reality. We have to do it, and no different than YouTube. But you know what's funny? I have DirecTV at home. I end up watching YouTube a lot, and it might not even be, it's not all dirt bike stuff. I come across something on there that's like, wow, this is cool. And then you're engaging that person the same way we're talking about. Then all of a sudden you're like, wow, that guy's actually pretty cool. And now you watch his golf videos or whatever the case it is. It's funny how that translates, and then how you can almost feel like you know that person without even meeting him. And that's how that's how he makes everyone feel in those videos, and that's why everyone loves him. You almost feel like you're invested with him in a sense because he's so normal. Like, he's completely himself. You can tell it's not an act. He's just spazzy like that, and it's awesome. And people engage in that shit because it's not a scripted line. And like, well, I got 7th today, and we're gonna get him next weekend. We'll see you guys. Thanks. And it's like, well, we know what you got. We watched. That's why we're watching this video. We watched the racing.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.